Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Free Gift Friday, where we bring you something for free on Fridays related to streamlining and optimizing your business. My name is Melanie McSally. I am your profit optimization and technology expert. I'm also the CEO and founder of WiseTribe. Together we are a team of technology experts and strategists. Our mission is to make technology accessible by helping you live that life of freedom by streamlining and optimizing your business for less. So I am obviously coming to you from the amazing Paris. No, of course not. You know this is a fake backdrop. Anyway, I am here with this amazing backdrop, Parisian backdrop of the Eiffel Tower, because as many of you know, I am a digital nomad. I live everywhere and nowhere. I've spent a lot of time recently in Florida in the USA, and this has posed a little bit of a challenge for me because I get a lot of my creativity, my inspiration from traveling, from meeting people, from having experiences. So I recently went on a trip across the US to infuse myself in some inspiration to get a change of scenery, and this once again infused my travel bug. And so I am putting it out in the universe that I will be in France by mid-January. You know, entrepreneurs all over the world say you don't have to have all the answers to get started. You just have to have the vision. And so here I am with a vision, and I'm putting stuff in place to make it happen. I don't know how I will make it happen because it's not all within my control, but here is my putting it into the universe. So we sit here today with this amazing Parisian backdrop. So, speaking of travel and speaking of being all over the world, today's episode is about saving you money with regards to travel. Specifically, I want to talk to you about public Wi-Fi, how to get more access to Wi-Fi for free, how to ensure that you're being safe and secure while you're on public Wi-Fi, and then also a hidden trick of how you can utilize Google Maps all over the world without having a Wi-Fi connection. So let's get started. Yay! Okay, so let's start with the Wi-Fi connections. Now, if you're traveling all over the world, you can obviously go to lots of cafes like Starbucks and hotels and things that offer free public Wi-Fi. Airports is one of them. A lot of times these places will only offer the free Wi-Fi for a limited period of time, and they actually check that you are you by your MAC address, and this is not something that you can easily change, and that's why they use it, so that when your device logs back onto the internet or when you've reached their maximum time, they can start charging you. Or so they think. You can, in fact, spoof your MAC address. And I recently found a great article on the web for how to do that. And rather than reinvent the wheel and tell you how to do it myself, I'm just going to put the link in the description that gives you exactly the free software to use and all the steps from downloading it to installing it to setting it up to actually spoofing when you're at your location. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I am just going to put that in the description with the step-by-step instructions. Give credit where credit is due. And they did it better than I would do it because they gave you instructions for both a Mac and a Windows as well as your mobile devices. So there you have it. We all know that I focus on Macs, so now you can have some instructions for Windows as well. Okay, so that's that. Now, staying secure while you're on public Wi-Fi. Two things here. You've heard me say it a million times. Get a password manager. Why? Because as you're traveling around the world, I know that you have not memorized every single one of your passwords. I know it. You know it. We all know it. They're written somewhere. They're on your computer. They're on a sticky. They're somewhere. I know that they're somewhere. And if they're somewhere, they can be hacked if they're not encrypted and secured behind something. So make sure that they are. Now, I use LastPass because I got it while I was at Harvard, and I've been using it ever since. I will put that link in the description for you. It is free. They do have a premium upgrade. You don't have to do that. You can stick with the free version. Here's another reason to use a password manager. When you're at these internet cafes, when you're at these places that are public, they could have key recorders, which means that as you type your passwords into your bank accounts, into places that have your personal financial information, or worse yet, your client's personal financial information, they could be recording your keystrokes, which means now they will have your passwords to those links. They'll have the URL you went to, they'll have your username, they'll have your password. If you instead log into your password manager, now I know you're thinking, well, won't they record that password too? They will, but I'm going to insist that you install two-factor, which means that your phone will give you a number that is only good for 60 seconds. So you'll type that number in. Without that number, your password is useless. And that number is going to change every 60 seconds. So they will no longer have it. So while you're on the computer at the internet cafe, or while you're on your own computer on public Wi-Fi, because they can do keystroke across, anyway, it's very complicated, but your password manager will be logging you in, so there won't be any actual keystrokes happening. And it's much harder for them to intercept that communication because it's all encrypted. So, so I highly suggest you use a password manager. Now, to up your security, if you're on your own computer and you're on public Wi-Fi, you can use VPN. Now, the other reason to use VPN is if you're in a country that censors, then you can use VPN to get to an IP address that says you're somewhere else. So it will allow you to be able to access websites that you wouldn't otherwise be able to access when you're in a country that censors. So I'm going to put a link in the description for free VPN software, and you can just follow the instructions there as to how to install it and use it. So now we have how to get free Wi-Fi, how to spoof our MAC address, how to have VPN, how to securely submit our passwords. So let's talk about cell phones. So when you go to another country, you know that you need to have an international data plan in order to use your cell phone. However, you can continue to use your same cell phone if you buy a SIM card that's local to that country. So then you're paying for the use of that SIM card and not buying a whole new device. So you can do that. And then lastly, I want to talk about how can you use Google Maps anywhere in the world without actually having a Wi-Fi connection. Now, this takes a bit of preparation, like most things that I give you, but in the end, it will save you time and money. like most things I give you. So we're going to go back to our cell phone and do a new demonstration. So you have to download the actual Google Maps. So Maps on an iPhone is backed by Google, but it's not the actual Google Maps application. So you need to download the actual Google Maps application. And you will know that you have it because it'll have this icon. Oops, I didn't mean to open Waze. But it'll have this icon right there, and it'll say Google Maps. So you just go to your app store, download the Google Maps application. Now you open the application, and I'm offsetting it so you can see that I've just opened Google Maps, and I'm going to type in Paris because we have a theme going. So Paris, France. So you can see that I have searched for Paris. Okay, so at the bottom underneath your map, let's go up here, you'll see all these labels down here. So we're just going to move these labels over to the side. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, so we're just going to move these labels over to the side, and afterwards you'll see, if you move all the way to the edge, you'll see this download button. So you're going to click that download button, and it's going to highlight the map for you. Now you can like zoom in, or you can zoom out. See? And so what you want to do is you want to put in here, oops, sorry, there you go, put in here, might have to get rid of Paris in order to show you Paris. You're going to highlight the section of Google Maps that you need access to when you don't have Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is going to give us this entire section, and then you hit download. And what that will do is it will download this section of the map for you, and then you can repeat the process for other sections of the map, and it will download it to your device so you can use it in the car for driving directions or walking directions or things like that, because you will now have the downloaded version of this map. So this is very useful if you are even if you're in your home country, if you're about to go on a trip in a rural area that doesn't, like you lose your cell reception, you lose access to your phone, this will ensure that you always have access to your map, right? So I don't know about you, but I have found myself in Canada and without cell reception, and I've gotten into these rural sections and I've gotten lost, and I've turned off, and when my phone went to recalculate to give me new directions because I'd clearly made a wrong turn, it lost its ability to give me directions because now it didn't know where it was. It didn't have access to the satellites and all of that stuff. So this is really helpful for if you're about to go out on a trip and you think that you're not going to have access to your maps for the whole time. Okay, so we've talked about Wi-Fi, we've talked about cell reception, we've talked about Google Maps, we've talked about Mac spoofing, we've talked about password managers, we've talked about Wi-Fi and how to get VPN. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. It's given you lots of cool tips and tricks on how you can get Wi-Fi and maps and all sorts of stuff for free, and then how you can also maintain your security. So lastly, if your app does not offer two-factor which most of them do, but if it doesn't, you can install this app called Duo Mobile. Not Duolingo, which also I'm learning French. But anyway, Duo Mobile. So what Duo Mobile does, it is a two-factor authentication. Once you log in, you just hit this little plus at the top. I will give you a link to download this. So you hit the plus and it will give you a QR code, and the app that you're trying to do to factor in will also give you the ability to read the QR code, and that will link the two up together. And this is how you can have the ever-changing 6-digit characters without having to carry around one of those key fobs. So again, another bit of free advice on how you can be more secure and have access to free things, because that's what we love at the end of the day. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Once again, my name is Melanie McSally. I am your profit optimization and technology expert at Wise Tribe. Our mission is to make technology accessible to entrepreneurs and small business owners so that they can live the life of freedom that they dream. If you found this helpful and you'd like to know when the next one is going to become available, I highly suggest you hit the little bell below and subscribe to our channel. If you know anybody else who would like access to free advice around streamlining and optimizing your business, having access to technology for less, please share. I would love it if you would share this with them. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you all have a beautiful Parisian weekend. Bye now.